remember, post the Delhi blast, what university came in the limelight? It was the Al-Falah University, the university in Haryana's Faridabad that came under the radar of the security agencies following the 10th of November Red Fort area blast, for which links to white terror doctors network. Now, 2 months after the blast, ED, which is now probing the money laundering angle, seems to have filed a charge sheet against the university chancellor, Javed Siddiqui. Now, Times Now, meanwhile, has accessed the details of the charge sheet and the allegations that have been leveled against the university and its top officials. That seems to be quite serious. Now, the findings show glaring lapses in faculty members' recruitment and other irregularities apart from money laundering offensive. Now, this is important primarily because the doctors who have been arrested in association somewhere or the other are linked with the same university, which is the Al-Fala. Now, investigations have revealed that the doctors were hired without following any guidelines just to meet the NMC norms. So what has now been said on part of the Enforcement Directorate? Well, it has now attached land and building of Al-Falah University worth around 140 crores. So let's put you that when we talk about Javed Siddiqui, he's said to be the university chancellor there, and he's been named as the principal conspirator by the Enforcement Directorate. He seems to be behind when it comes to siphoning proceeds outside the country and through Al-Falah Charitable Trust. That seems to be the motive there, where we are looking at the proceeds which amount to nearly 493 crore. He seems to be the fees that has been collected through these offences there. And as far as the terror den, it is now being cited on part of the ED now. It has now made a mention as far as in the charge sheet now is concerned. So, Bhavtosh, good afternoon. Two of the accused that have now been named in the charge sheet that we are looking at. This is coming at a time when the ED has filed a charge sheet in connection with a money laundering case involving the Al-Falah University.
Good afternoon, Navita. They have filed the charge sheet, but the points that have been highlighted by the Enforcement Directorate are very important. What they have said is that the faculty that has been hired by Al-Fala, that faculty is something that needs a further probe. And this probe can be done by the National Medical Council itself and also by the UGC. Now, what they have said is that right norms were not followed and proper guidelines were not followed, and they were hired only for the purpose to make sure that NMC gives them the right recognition. And this was done very hurriedly. Now, importantly, Umar Nabi, the suicide bomber in the Red Fort attack, was an assistant professor at the time when the Red Fort attack had happened. Now, all the 3 doctors who have been arrested by the NIA, earlier by the UP ATS and also by the Faridabad police, have association with Al-Falah University. Now, this point has been mentioned in the charge sheet or the prosecution complaint that has been filed by the Enforcement Directorate. They specifically mentioned that all the faculty members, their recruitment as well as their hiring has been done in a very haphazard manner. ED has said that this was done primarily because they want to show to the NMC that there have been faculty that has been hired. Now, they have said that illegal gratification was also paid to the faculty just before NMC was to carry out inspection. Now, that's a very important point that has been mentioned by the Enforcement Directorate in the charge sheet that has been filed. Okay. They have also said that fake patients were also put in place when NMC used to carry out the inspection.
All right. Well, these developments are coming at a time when the charge sheet that has been filed remains to be seen as far as when it comes to the proceeds of crime are concerned. That seems to be also amounting to several crores. Now, the Enforcement Directorate, meanwhile, when we speak of this charge sheet that accuses Al-Falah University of running an elaborate facade to clear medical inspections. According to the ED, doctors appeared only when the infectors arrived and the patients were produced to inflate the numbers, and the infrastructure was assembled just in time to create an illusion of compliance. Now, the agency claims that the faculty was hired solely for inspection days, and they are shown as regular staff on paper and allegedly paid illegal gratification to meet with the NMC norms, with chats from 2019 revealing the existence of only on-paper doctors. Mass hiring immediately before inspections, where the ED says that this was a willful and fraudulent attempt when it comes to misleading the regulator. And the charge sheet further alleges that the patients were arranged through intermediaries, bed occupancy inflated, incentives tied to numbers and non-eligible faculty that was projected in senior academic post as well. So that seems to be as far as when it comes to all of the last-minute hirings that seems to be done in a way to project the OPT footfall that seems to be also artificially created. There has been illegible staff that has been shown as professors. The bed occupancy was also inflated and it was shown higher on the paper that we are looking at. Also, when it comes to the fake patient footfall, bed strength that is now linked, said to be, with the appraisals there that was given. So all of that through fraudulent measures that we are now looking at, as far as when it comes to illegal gratification that seems to be also paid to the doctors there. So this seems to be the back-to-back financial incentives that same also have been offered to the doctors, and also looking at how the entire infrastructure seems to be staged. How? Let's take a look. As far as the facilities are concerned, that was arranged only before the inspection was to happen. There was also clinical equipment that was hurriedly installed. There was also temporary arrangements that we are looking at that was made to mislead when it comes to the officials that came in from the NMC. So this was a fake picture of facade that was actually led on part of the university there to mislead when it comes to the NMC officials. So that seems to be the point there. Bhavtosh, we've seen it in movies. Now it seems that this seems to be in a real-time way that such kind of issues at hand had now taken, which raises when it comes to, how significant is this finding when we talk of cases of proceeds of crime, when we are looking at as far as this facade that has been put up, and were the authorities or the administration at Al-Falah in the know of terror activities and terror planning also going on in the campus?
Well, Amita, on paper and officially, they have denied all these charges, but it was at the time when Javed Ahmed Siddiqui was still the chairman of Al-Falah University and group. But remember, the ED charge sheet specifically mentioned few things. First, that the accreditation had expired long time back. That also that they did not even apply for the accreditation, and this went for nearly a decade. Importantly, the students were not even made aware of the fact that there was no accreditation, neither by the NAC and also by the UGC. And all these faculties that were hired by them were completely, completely paid money and illegal gratification. And the Al-Falah University, in fact, made a proceeds of crime worth at least 400 crore rupees. Assets worth at least 139 crore rupees have now been attached by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, it could be possible that the attachment that has been done has been given to a government receiver, primarily because the government does not want any student to suffer. And subsequently, UGC as well as NAC will take a final call. But very disturbing findings by the Enforcement Directorate, though the main terror case will continue to be probed by the NIA, which has so far arrested 8 individuals in this case.
Yes, so the NIA, which is have been proceeding with the investigation linked to the terror conspiracy, and as far as when we speak of the Enforcement Directorate, that seems to be leading the investigation when it comes to money laundering and running this elaborate facade when it comes to clearing medical inspections. Thank you very much for the moment, Bhavtosh, for getting us those updates. In the meantime, let's get you the pictures that are now coming